everyone, and welcome to a new video. I thought today we could really use a fun, light cosplay story time. So that's what I'm going to be bringing you guys today. Just a fun little distraction because goodness knows, I know I could really use that, and I'm sure a lot of you could really use that. So today I'm going to be telling you guys a very funny story. I think it's a funny story from how I spilt my lunch on my cosplay. And I feel like just giving you the title probably gives a lot about it away, but here we are. So this particular story, I'm actually dressed specifically for this, decided to match my t-shirt to the story. This took place 2 years ago when I was cosplaying the Incredibles 2 movie version of Elastigirl. This was during, I believe, Fan Expo Vancouver a couple of years ago, and this was the Sunday of the convention. One big discovery that I had made that particular weekend was that Jugo Juice is like the ultimate lunchtime savior for cosplayers. This was not something that I knew beforehand, but I made a great discovery during that weekend. I discovered that they have these meal-sized smoothies. They taste really, really good. And obviously when you're in cosplay, it's harder to like sit down and have a proper meal. You're worried about messing up your makeup. You're worried about messing up your outfit. You're worried about how much time it's going to take out of your day. So when I discovered that you can just get these like meal-sized smoothies, you just sip it through a straw, right? So it's not going to mess up your makeup. It's nice and fast. You can take it around with you. I was pretty stoked on this discovery. So throughout that weekend, I decided to have this really good peanut butter. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. That's probably obvious, but I just want to make sure. I'm not sponsored by them. I just genuinely really like their smoothies. I had gotten this really good peanut butter smoothie that they had. It was like my absolute favorite thing ever. And ever since then, whenever I've been at a convention at that particular venue, that's always my go-to is always this peanut butter smoothie. So I was pretty stoked on that. So this was the Sunday of the convention. It was lunchtime. So I get my smoothie and I'm walking around the convention and I come across this big group of my friends. I saw the gang from That Guy You Know, who I've done many collabs with in the past. They're a super fun group of people to hang out with. They were hanging out with a bunch of their friends and they were all kind of in this circle listening to music and kind of dancing around and just like having a chill good time. So I see this and I'm like, oh, fantastic. I'm gonna go say hi to my friends and vibe with them and it's gonna be great. So I go up there and I'm chilling out as you do. And in the most hilarious instant of foreshadowing, I was thinking, since we're kind of dancing and vibing in this circle, I was thinking like,
how crazy would it be if I were to drop my smoothie?
But like, obviously that's not gonna happen. Why would that happen? I'll be careful. I know how to grip a smoothie, right? Little did I know. I'm chilling out with everybody. I'm having a good time. And then I make some sort of a movement, or I'm maybe vibing a little too hard and I lose grip of my smoothie. And for me, it happens in slow motion. I go through this really funny kind of range of thoughts, right? So at first I'm thinking, oh, this can't possibly be happening. I was literally just thinking about this. I'm obviously gonna be able to catch the smoothie. This isn't gonna be a big deal. I'm gonna catch the smoothie and it's gonna be fine. And of course, I don't catch the smoothie and I see it, falling towards the ground. I'm thinking, oh no, this is going to land on my cosplay. But then what I was really dreading, I wasn't worried about it getting on my cosplay. Like, that was actually not my concern. My concern was everybody's reactions, because I'm in this huge group of people and they're all like super cool people who I want to like give a good impression to, right? And I just kind of want to be able to just brush this off and not have it be a big deal. But I know that since I'm in this huge group of people, it's gonna be a big deal, right? When you see somebody drop their food on their cosplay, like, it's gonna be a big deal. And now that people are gonna like feel sorry for me and I don't want that. I'm like, oh no, like people are gonna make a big deal out of this and they're gonna like feel bad for me and I don't want that. I just want to be able to just, kind of brush it off and move on. So I'm watching this smoothie, drop to the ground and I'm like, oh no. So it drops and it lands right on my feet, right? And so my cosplay has these boot covers. So it lands right on my shoes, right on my boot covers. It hits the ground and it kind of, bounces a little bit, right? Making this like big splash everywhere. And immediately, as soon as it hits the ground, everybody in this big circle of people are just like, oh no! And I'm standing there like, no, it's fine. it's fine, please don't worry, oh my gosh, I'm trying so hard. I'm like, this is fine, don't worry about it. Regardless, you know, you see somebody drop food on their cosplay, you're like, oh no, this is terrible, right? And everybody's looking at me and everybody's looking at the smoothie all over my boots. It wasn't a big deal. Like, I was not worried about it landing on the boots because the boots, they're black and I got a liquid on them. So like, it's not gonna show through. It really, even like right when it was fresh on there, it wasn't a huge deal, like you could barely see it. So I was like, okay, this is fine. We're not worrying about this, right? Like, I was not worried about how it was gonna look in photos because it was gonna blend into the black fabric really, like, totally fine, and I was not worried about that. The big thing that I was worried about was the fact that it had become this spectacle in this group of really cool people. You know, I had dropped smoothie on my cosplay, right? So I'm trying to brush it off. I'm trying to be like, no, it's fine. Oh my gosh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And I make a joke. I'm like, it's the blood of my enemies. It was so awkward. But one of the big kickers was that Sev Cosplay, who is a very, very well-known cosplayer, was in that circle of people. We didn't formally meet or anything, but this was the first time our paths had ever crossed at a convention. And this was her first impression of me, was seeing me drop smoothie on my cosplay. And of course she's like, oh man, we have to play Enya in the background. And I'm like, I love a good meme reference, she knows what's up. But it was still embarrassing. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's this like really well-known cosplayer and this is her first impression of me, is that I, you know, dropped a smoothie on my cosplay. So, you know, luckily we were outside, so it didn't get on a floor or anything. So cleanup was not like a huge issue. I pick up the cup and everything. I was not upset about it getting on my cosplay. That was not a huge issue. The big thing that I was upset about was that I was still drinking that smoothie and it was really, really good. It was this really good peanut butter and jelly smoothie. And now I couldn't drink the rest of it. And I can't just buy another one because I've already had kind of the majority of that smoothie. And it was a really expensive smoothie and it tasted really good. And now it was on the floor and on my cosplay and I couldn't drink it. That was the thing that I was most torn up about. That and the fact that I had embarrassed myself in front of all these people. But honestly, more so than the embarrassment was the fact that this really good smoothie had now dropped on the ground. I was like, oh, I can't drink it anymore. That's what I was most upset about, which I'm glad. I'm really glad that it wasn't something big. Like, I could only imagine if it was an issue where I was maybe like wearing a white bodysuit and I got soy sauce on it or something like that. Like, I'm glad that it was not an issue like that. I very rarely spill food on my cosplay. I'm usually very careful, except for, you know, in this particular situation. So I'm really glad that the one time it did happen, it was such an easy thing to move on from. You know, I was still able to do photos. It was all okay. So I'm very grateful that it was something that I was able to like easily recover from, and it wasn't something that I was super torn up about. Again, the thing that I was most upset about was the fact that I had dropped my smoothie, and it was a really good smoothie. Anyway, so moral of the story, Juco juice smoothies are really good, but please be careful not to drop them on your cosplay. And I guess that's it. So yeah, that was a short little story for you guys, but I hope it made you laugh. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was a nice little distraction for you guys to help lift your spirits. And yeah, before I go though, I do want to give a quick announcement. I have re-released my World Cosplay League merch line. It will be available until the end of September. I have it as t-shirts, I have it as hoodies, I have it as a new really cool deluxe hoodie design, which I really like. I have it as tank tops, I have it as sweatshirts, just a whole bunch of different things. So if you missed it the first time I released it, it is back. And yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I will have links and everything down in the description. So anyway, I hope that was a fun little chill video for you guys. And again, I hope it made you laugh. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you guys all next time. But until then, Panda Faces, please be sure to take care. Bye.